Okay, I think we're back.
Okay, so we will start off from where we left off, which
Hope everyone jumps back into the chat now.
I
Take a
don't
couple of seconds
know
to
exactly where we got cut off, but we were talking about we were just getting into the events that happened with the Donald Trump attempted assassination on Saturday evening, or Saturday as it would be in America. At the end of the day,
Right, guys, it's because we were talking about Trump.
I wouldn't doubt it one bit.
No, like it's because we were talking about it in the. I made a title that just tries to draw people in, but
yeah,
what can you do?
It is just crazy. I mean, it's just absolutely crazy. It's getting on my like tits, the whole thing, because I know when I have a good video, like from, we'll say 2 years ago or a year ago, it's getting worse and worse and worse. The bigger the page got, the more restricted it got.
Yeah.
And it's all because I've used certain words. If you use the word like that begins with C and ends with D and has vid in the middle of it, it just gets stopped straight away. If you mention any of the LGBTQ or SWXYZ numbers or fucking letters, that gets
well, the other side of it is, so we were talking very briefly about Elon Musk buying. Well, we weren't talking about that, but we were talking about Elon Musk. But Elon Musk buys Twitter, right?
Yeah.
Then he fires loads and loads of people.
Yeah.
And what does he do to say with moderation and all these things that he gets in? He uses technology. And then when people implant certain technology, we're going to highlight certain words to keep it kind of friendly. Now, Twitter isn't as harsh. Well, that's that type of framing inform, like, it's the AI that picks up all these words, and then they
But the thing is, Twitter is still the most liberal for free speech.
100%. It is, yeah, it is. But they also they've sent a lot of stuff to the government. They're working in conjunction with the Irish government or the.
Well, Elon Musk tweeted that he was offered a secret deal by the EU to quash like speech.
Yeah.
And he didn't take it.
But that, because he said that, doesn't mean that Twitter aren't in cahoots with these either.
I don't know. I don't think so. I actually there's so, like, he has certain things that he comes out with, but I believe his core value is the freest of speech of all the platforms.
I saw a piece in Forbes, right?
Yeah.
So Twitter we're always working with different governments around the world, right? And then he exposed that.
Yeah.
You know how much the governments were asking for, or basically shadow banning and all this type of stuff was definitely happening.
Yeah.
It's happening a lot.
Yeah.
And then
100%. I mean, I know
he said that he was going to get rid of all that, and not where it'd be free speech and all this type of stuff. And there was a Substack article about 6 months ago. Yeah, so like Elon Musk says Twitter had no choice but to comply with government regulations in what they do. So, or see here with. Yeah, so Twitter has complied with almost every government request for censorship since Elon Musk took over.
Yeah.
So it's easy to say but there's empirical evidence that he is still, every time the government asks him to take something down, he does it.
Yeah. You see, well then how difficult is it for free speech to survive? I mean, it's getting beyond a joke. I mean, like I said, we came on here to talk about the events of the weekend with Trump and the attempted assassination, and it starts glitching. I mean, straight away.
Yeah. You have to. You have to.
It's
ask.
mental. He's a bit contradictory. Musk. He is. I know he is. I know he is. Some things he comes out with are I agree with. Other things, obviously, I don't. He's ruthless when it comes to employment. We do know that much.
Yeah.
You touched on it.
Oh yeah, he's
earlier
ruthless. What are those
I think
conspiracy
James.
guys? Gotta say, one of the best.
Oh, brilliant!
podcasts out there. Whenever you want, man. We're up for doing a podcast whenever.
Yeah.
Yeah, like those.
Make anti-mask great again. Yeah, we did. Like literally, like I mean, but it's not the first time it's happened.
And like the thing is, we don't have.
It's disheartening, is what it is.
We don't have a thing either way. It's just as soon as you mention it, it's like, welcome to the censorship party, fellas. Well, I'm sure you know all about it.
I am like the bigger my pages got, the more censored they became. I mean,
and the thing is, it's
crazy. AI, it's disheartening. I'm actually thinking about, as I was talking to you earlier on about it. I'm thinking about just coming off social media for a while, and completely just sticking to the live shows, because it is so frustrating. You know, you have a banger of a video that you would usually get, and it's not all about views, but it's what feeds the pages that sells the tickets, and it goes up, and you can tell straight away. You can tell straight away because the page is completely organic, and you can tell straight away by the insights and the algorithms that it's been absolutely throttled with restrictions and regulations.
Oh, it's
and you put up some wanky video about means nothing, right? Might not even be funny, or if funny, not as funny as a proper rant or having the fucking crack. And next thing it's up on 1.5 million views. It is just painful. I hate doing it, but like, and even I love the creamy pint videos, but they're getting to the stage where I'm getting fucking sick of them.
Yeah.
But every Friday they work.
Yeah.
No matter what happens,
you're
they
feeding
work.
the beast, and you're touching. See, it works because people just are like, it's easy.
Yeah, it's easy. There's no controversial topic in it. So that's why there's so many of them. That's why there's one every Friday. I've explained this before. Why there's so many of them. It's what drives the page. It's what sells the tickets.
So those conspiracy guys, I had to take everything off my channel in 2018 because they kept on getting snipped for old videos. The old topics become inflammatory, and they went back in time and found I got strikes for 3 or 4 year old videos.
Yeah,
that is exactly what's happened. Yeah,
that's exactly what's happening. It's happening on my videos. I got this is a video that got taken down on Facebook. It was a promotional video for a show that myself and Pete were doing, and all it is Pete was walking past, and because he wasn't in this particular show, it was actually with Gary Noon. He just shouts from a distance. You could barely hear it in the video. And because I could barely hear it, he was that far away. So I kept talking about it. He was pretending to be pissed off that he wasn't part of the show. And I just said, sure, we're doing a show next week, man. And you know, and he was gone so far away. And next thing, all he shouted back was, "You're dead to me." You know.
And it's so childish. It's so good.
It was a joke.
Juvenile,
it was just juvenile. It was just a bit of banter. Yeah. He says that as it's like an in-house joke, and it got taken down. But it didn't get taken down there and then. It got taken down like 7 months later.
Yeah, but this is it. Like, those Helen McAtee would have had us all handing over our phones to check for memes.
Yeah.
So the new hate speech bill coming, and obviously, look, that should be cross border. The hate speech bill was so wide ranging. It wasn't actually to do.
No, they didn't know themselves.
Yeah.
They didn't know themselves what they were talking about.
No, 100%.
So if you don't know, you're trying to impose something, and you haven't a clue how to impose it or what it actually means, and then you're trying to put that on an entire nation. And remember as well that I do believe that Ireland are the guinea pigs for the bigger countries in Europe.
Well, we can be a bit docile as a country.
Yeah, we've gone very docile as a country. We're perfect for I know that we're waking up a little
We're
bit.
also we're in terms of of a country. We're quite a new country. We're 100 years
Yeah,
old.
100, yeah.
A lot of these institutions are not that well embedded. They could be moved around and changed. So for me, I think now
All we wanted was a strong government to resist that, but we like they've just rode in behind Europe, like or whoever is pulling the strings.
um yeah, like
I do love one of my favorite people to rant about is Eamon Ryan. When an Eamon Ryan video doesn't do well, you know that it's been pulled.
yeah, it's which is ridiculous.
Yeah,
But again, this goes back to like they're all complying with some sort of government fucking overreach. The government is like, look, at the end of the day, they want these corporations, Twitter, Facebook, Meta, or whatever it's called, Google, they want to keep the Irish government as happy as Larry.
yeah.
They do not care about it because they're getting the sweetest deal.
Oh yeah, I understand that too.
So it's like at the end of the day, it comes back to money.
Yeah, it's all money.
So simple.
But what's like how much money? Like how much money do these companies need?
Well, that's where that's
How
where
much
I'm
money
like,
does Elon Musk need? How much money does anyone need?
Elon Musk being this warrior for free speech. I don't believe it. I don't buy it.
I don't know.
I
I admire everything that he's done. He's obviously of a high intelligence
but
to get where he's got.
yeah, 100%. But he's not. He doesn't care. Like, it's just to have stuff. He's an engineer, a ruthless engineer, and he's a bit of a dick. And he's super successful. He's smart, and he's.
Is he now the richest person in the world?
Oh yeah, he's like
Or is it
220
is
billion.
it Jeff?
Jeff Bezos is like $50 billion behind now.
Oh, is he?
Yeah,
Okay.
but
I
like,
suppose if I had that much money, I'd be a bit of a dick too. I'd like to think I wouldn't be. Docile, it's a
fluoride in the water. You're living up to your name, mate.
Yes, yes, indeed. That's another thing. When we're talking about Trump, we touched on it when we went for the walk earlier. These people that are coming out making these theories, and some of them you'd have to wonder about, but these conspiracy theorists, they're talking about all sorts, the moon landing or whatever. They're talking about what's happening around the world at the minute, and this digital identification and all that, and then they don't flow with the theory that this assassination attempt on Saturday.
So it's very
you cannot be one and then not the other.
There's a fella that we know very well, and I was watching some of his reactions to stuff, and he jumped straight on the bandwagon of supporting Donald Trump. Now look, we weren't there. We don't know any better. We probably never know until 50 years later or whatever.
Even then we might know.
But like the way we all watched the video. The way he was standing was weird.
Yeah, the whole thing.
It just looked.
I just watched the video before we came in here, and people were pointing at the sniper for 2.5 minutes.
The fella the fella had him in his sights.
Yeah, no, but even there's a video of spectators
looking up,
and
wow.
they're videoing him, and it done a time clock with Trump in the background.
Yeah.
And I've done a little bit of a countdown timer.
Well, it's
nearly 3 minutes before people were pointing at him before he took the shot.
Yeah, I think it just looked strange, and then he got the photo op.
Yeah,
he comes up with the big fist in the air.
I know,
and he uses it to his "you can't kill me" type of approach.
And the thing is, if someone's shot at, this is what I thought straight away. If someone is shot at, you shit your pants. Yeah. And I don't believe that Donald Trump is that brave. Like, maybe his ego is big, but I do not believe he's that brave that he doesn't think in the back of his head, if it was real. And I'm not saying that it's either a good thing or a bad thing, because it's genius in one way.
Yeah.
But
it's mad.
It's brazen as well, so it is.
But yeah, it
but you don't walk across the stage like as if nothing happened, after being shot at, because I don't know if he knows that this fella's been shot. Then you're thinking, there could be two. You're not thinking like that, but that's my theory on it. It's just mental, and like I said, it has handed him the presidency.
These are the. It's you just going back to your point. There's people out there that have questioned everything from climate science and climate denial, and then Biden's cognitive ability is a big thing, which is clearly in decline.
Clearly,
but then who the real power brokers are and stuff like that. All these conspiracies, diving into conspiracy after conspiracy, and then won't question that former President Donald Trump.
Yeah, and if people are saying, "Oh, should a person got shot and the two people are seriously injured," these people do not give two Highlands fucks if there's a couple of civilian casualties.
Not at all.
Go through some of the comments.
Yeah, I'll go through some of them. EMAXC put in a bunch of comments. We weren't forgetting you, mate. Professional Master of Education, PME, right?
Okay.
It's a course of 2 years to become qualified teacher. You can only do it in Dublin, Galway, Cork, and Limerick. Price range of 12 to 16. If it gets you into the job you want, don't worry about the money or whatever. Just
12,000 a lot when you don't have it.
Of course, but what I'm saying is like, if it's the career you want at the end, then go for it, mate.
Yeah.
You know?
Do you know it costs like 100,000? Maybe I stand to be correct on this. 100,000 a year to become an aviation pilot.
Yeah,
that's crazy money.
100 grand a year.
I'm pretty sure
to do the course
to qualify. Yeah,
I know it's very, very expensive, but I know that they get paid.
Well, I know that
straight out.
I know that, but
like, do you want someone? Part of me is like some of those, something like an airline pilot. You want to know that they are really committed, to doing it. Because I've done college courses myself where I was like, I really shouldn't have bothered me whole.
Yes, well, that's true too.
I did a marketing
and you do have
course.
you do have to go through a lot of medicals, which I can understand as well.
Yeah,
and obviously a mental health assessment, which. Like, see that man? Remember the man that lost his shit halfway through the flight and flew the plane into the was it the Alps?
Oh, I thought you not 9/11, was it?
No, a couple of years ago. He was, I don't know. I think he was actually the co-pilot, but he managed to
fucking lost his shit.
Yeah, it was a suicide.
Wow.
Yeah, he had, I don't know, broken up with the missus or something, and he flipped halfway across the flight, but I think he had planned it. I think they found out he had planned. I stand to be not corrected on that, but I do know that happened.
Knows more about that. Let us know. Never get bored of your Ryan videos.
I read that one out. That's why I read that one out.
Good to see you, fellas. From Cheeky Commodore. Cheers, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Good Commodore.
Good to get a comment off you.
Yeah, Commodore. Spent a lot of time on the Commodore.
Do you remember the Commodores? Jeez, that's a long time ago. That's the early 90s, mid 90s.
Mid 90s,
yeah. And there was the other one was Amstrad.
Yeah, I had an Amstrad as well.
Amstrad.
I got an Amstrad. It took tapes, right? Yeah. And my dad got it for £5 at, like, I don't know, some jumble sale thing in England when I was a kid. I swear to God, half the tapes didn't work.
Yeah, of course.
I spent more time on that. I had the best childhood, just fucking playing the same couple of games over and over.
But they were shit games.
They were shit. Some of them were horrendous.
They were terrible.
And some of them
were... The control stick, the joystick or whatever it was, it would be getting hot in your hand.
Yeah.
Like the smell of burning electricity would knock you out.
But like they were...
Maybe we were better off.
The C64 was 82. Wow. Commodore 64, huh? Some crack.
Now everything is just online. Like even porn is too easy.
You don't even have to work for it anymore.
No.
Is
it any wonder that young fellas are at home pulling their stomachs out of themselves instead of going out?
Apparently they've young lads today have no interest for women because they just
fucking hellfire.
Again, gone docile.
Docile, yeah.
You know,
you might be right, Jay.
Gordon. Yeah.
It might be the fluoride in the water.
That's why they can try these laws with us and then backdoor them into common law systems internationally. there is something to be said about that.
Wow.
That they where the EU's little brother who sent us to the shop.
Yeah, yeah.
He said, and
Keep the change. I get you.
Our laws are uniquely structured in semi-theoretic constitution. Like, but I said,
very good.
Using us to piggyback to see. Look, there's a lot of weird stuff in the EU. Like when you're on the outside looking in. Look at Britain now. Like it's a fucking mess.
Yeah, it is.
It like the Tories were in power for 14 years.
Yeah,
and they're just after getting decimated by someone who effectively is a Tory. Like Keir Starmer might as well be a Tory.
Yeah,
like his policies are.
So it's the same, much the same as the same.
It's going to be the same shit.
Yeah,
and people say
should they have left the EU?
When Morris was on here, he was saying how Leo Varadkar and Micheál Martin were lefties, and I was just like, well, that's just not true, because at the end of the day, they're corporatists. That was their problem. Their prerogative is that these corporations that we were talking about, they come into the country, they give us they give them a sweet deal. So on the flip side, and the employment is.
Do you think of the taking an owl backhander?
Well, that would be a Leo Varadkar thing to do anyway. He'd take
I do believe that Leo Varadkar was leftist as well, but anyway, that's.
Well, at the end, as heart of hearts, he's a corporatist. He's about making financial institutions.
Why are so many Irish politicians dropping out? I reckon there's something big coming down the line, and they're bailing ship.
Yeah, but do you know what was really interesting is the Independent Party falling apart at the seams at the first hurdle.
Unbelievable.
Class. You got to say, if you can't build these guys up too much.
Yeah.
I
believed in I wanted it to work.
It was never going to work.
And then they just divided straight away.
Yeah.
Like the EU, they joined the most leftist group out there. So
well, I don't know if the most left, but clearly left. Look, there is this is something I wanted to talk to you about. Is like everyone believes they're centrist.
Yeah.
And so they're like, oh well, they're a leftist, and how could I be far right?
Yeah. Everyone's viewpoint is their center.
Yeah. So they feel like they're right. So everyone else, but there is clear defined lines of what a right-leaning group is and what a left-leaning group is. Out 4 years, conservatism went hand in hand with law and order and not complying with government demands. You look at conservatism, it was hand in hand with what the American way of life is. But that's all been flipped on its head now. So back in the day, free speech would have been a leftist thing to fight for. 100%.
Yeah.
The hippie movement was a leftist movement.
True, and now it's flipped. It's flipped over.
It's all what you like. Trump is a good way. Look, he's come in. He turned up the apple cart by saying, "I'm the outsider that used the system."
Yeah. And
now your speech is being. I can't say what I want to say.
Yeah.
But a lot of it's. When he got into power, did he do anything different to what another politician would have done? Trump.
Oh, I think he definitely done.
He gave a major tax break to billionaires. In the middle of the pandemic, fucking billionaires made more money than ever before.
Yeah. He gave something that would never have happened in America, that free money to every citizen in the country.
Yeah.
And I know it mightn't, it's not life changing, but that wouldn't have happened in any, it was a nice pot. It was
it was a check for $1,200.
$1,200 each, everyone, whether you were a child or not. So
but when
I know it's not life changing, but that wouldn't have happened, I don't think, under any other government. I know people are going to say, well, that's not going to define him. That doesn't make up for all that he's done wrong.
Yeah, but that check for $1,200.
I think he done it twice though.
But when you look at the typical employment fell apart. Like we like I was working and suddenly I wasn't working.
Yeah.
You were the same. Well, you were busier than ever.
I was busier than ever actually because it was the particular job that I was in at the time. I could do with about 12 months of COVID again.
Alan.
Financially, but not mentally, obviously. Go
But-
through some more of these.
Yeah, sure.
And then we'll go back. We'll go back for anyone that's just tuned into this. If you're just on live, and for anyone that's watching this from the beginning or whatever, we started this off and we had a title on it about what happened at the weekend with the assassination attempt, and we were on it for about 5 or 6 minutes, and then it just got taken down.
The gremlins came in and took us down.
It's just a perfect example of how people are being censored. It's mental.
Lots of Commodore 64 love. Mairead Devon says
Atari,
Atari was great.
So it was Commodore, Atari, and Amstrad.
Amstrad, yeah.
Right. Okay.
Lionel
Commodore
Richie,
68. All night long. Lionel Messi job.
I was going to take that joke from you for the crack.
Well, too late.
I've heard.
I don't let any jokes go.
What you call the old fella master of backdoor 64. Right, man, you know the crack. Lots of Amstrad chat. We
had Silkworm.
Tank on the ground, helicopter in the sky, 2-player savagery.
I think I just got like a car chasing game, and that was about it. And I played it. That was probably the only thing I played computer wise. I never had a PlayStation. I never had any of the real cool ones.
Yeah, I had a PlayStation 1, 2, and 3.
I'd go out.
PlayStation 1 was fucking great crack. But see, the thing is, all of that was just about playing games either on your own or with your buddy, and that was it.
Yeah.
Now with internet play, you could spend a lot of time, and you're saying, "Oh, I'm playing with my team." And say, "Who's in your team?" I was like, "Jackknife 54 is in the chat today," and it's like, "Where is he? Chile."
Yeah.
He's like, he's as good to me as a brother.
Yeah. He's like a brother to me. Hey,
he sure is. Leo was on the panel desk like he was at Joanne on the Sunday fix about the doll. I don't know what
panel desk is that, Chief? Try change a law in France or Germany, practically impossible, but change it in Ireland and stretch it over the whole EU. Okay, I get you. And the lads all bounced so they get dollars, cushy EU jobs, locked in before the crash. Yeah, could very well be.
It's like our system is so fraught with holes.
Yeah,
but like it's made to be like that.
Yes, of course.
It's like the tax laws.
It's nearly made to fail.
Well, the tax laws were like our corporate tax laws were made for Apple, specifically for Apple.
Right.
So Apple were going to leave Ireland in the early 80s, and that would have been they had a
Are they around that long?
They had a factory in Cork.
Okay.
They were going to leave, and Ireland opened up its tax code and designed it around what Apple wanted.
Okay.
And it's been
how much do they reckon that Apple, how much do the EU believe that Apple actually owe Ireland? Something like 6 billion?
13 billion.
13 billion.
That money's in escrow.
It'd fill a lot of potholes.
The EU have already decided that Ireland have to take that money. But if Ireland take that money, it means that it closes some of the loopholes. So they're not going to take that money. It's sitting in escrow.
So who had like if Apple can't take the money?
So the EU have basically fined Apple. The judgment is done. Right. They've found the case in Ireland's favor.
Right.
Even though they didn't take the case. It was the EU that took the case, and they said to Ireland, "You have to take that money." And Ireland like, "We ain't taking that money."
Right.
Because it closes some of the corporate loopholes for
does it? Yeah, but does it risk more than 13 billion?
They're making like
or is this a personal game?
Apple make so much money per day, it would actually not affect them, but it's closing corporate loopholes that they don't want to close because they don't want to upset the foreign direct investment.
Mm-hmm.
And like,
but is that worth more than 13 billion?
No.
No.
Like it's I don't know. Like I think that if you come to this country, you should pay your way.
Oh yeah, 100%.
If you're a
but you have to say that then about people that coming into the country.
100%.
Migrants coming into the country.
100%.
Well, there you go.
I've never said that you shouldn't pay your way when you get here. I think that people going into a different conversation now. But
yeah, one we might get into later on because I want to finish off. Go on.
One thing we know for sure is the major corporations that come to this country can't afford to pay their way.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So and they get an easy.
Donna goes Sega Mega Drive.
Donna's
Sonic
the man.
was elite. Sega, yeah, that's one of the games that I did get to play. Not because I owned one, but because my uncle, who is only 3.5 years older than me,
and 3.5 years wiser.
Oh yeah,
as we know.
Yeah, would have one, and when he wasn't around, I was able to play his Sega Mega Drive, but not a lot either. So yeah, it was it was like a little treat for me. Bursting all them rings and them fired up in the air.
Sonic job.
Berber, good content regards to Euros Cowboy. Thank you very much. I may have overdone it a little bit, but fuck it.
What did you say last night in your video?
Just lots of different things. I said
Viviedo.
I can't fucking remember.
Viviedo.
It done the trick. It done the trick for the time. Yeah, it was good. It was good.
I won't charge you for that one now.
It was good. It was good old crack. So it was. We'll be talking about that in a few minutes. And also, I'm going to go left field on my opinion of the aftermath of England losing. But I'll explain all in a couple of minutes. How was your Galway gig? Were you pleased with how it turned out? Wasn't at the gig, unfortunately. It was a very good gig. Yeah. Would like maybe a couple more people at it at the time. I think a lot of people bought tickets and didn't go, and then we obviously changed venues as well, so that affected it.
And Galway had just been
Galway were in the quarterfinal.
They had just been Dublin,
and yeah, that's right. Which I thought might have done better first. And there was a Taylor Swift concert out. There was lots going on, but yeah, we had a great time. It was a great show.
Good gig.
If anything, it was a little. There was too much going on in it. We had Adam Kelly, who was fantastic on the night. We had Pete. We had the fantastic Donna, who's in the chat here as well. He played some.
Go subscribe to Donna's.
Great music in during the show and also in the after party in McNeil's. And then there was myself on as well. I would have loved more time up on stage, but I was already 20 minutes over the time that we were allotted. So yeah, it was a great gig. It was really good.
Good fun.
And
it was a good hangout.
It was a great hangout.
It was a good hangout after, like, you know.
Yeah, well, like we didn't finish up till like 4:30.
Yeah. Fair play to.
All jokes aside, I come to Ireland every year, Drogheda dad's side, Kilkenny mum's side, but I need to go back after a week because the Guinness turns my the heart is in the wrong place. The back door. What does it say?
Back door.
There's a heart that won't leave.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that is. We can't read the last bit of your message until someone else comments, if that makes sense.
64 Black and Tarry.
But anyway, we'll get back to finishing off the assassination attempt. Whether it was or whether it wasn't a stage
we will
job,
find out on this podcast.
We will. We'll find out in our own minds. It is definitely played into Donald Trump's hands, and I think it's practically handed him the election, and I think it was heading that way anyway. If it was a stage thing, I do believe that they didn't need to do it. I think I have an old theory that if you hand a man enough rope, he'll eventually hang himself. I mean that theoretically, not.
Gordon, 100%, mate. Fair play, lads. Good to see you fitting well. Let's link up sometime in the
100%, Gordon.
TCG. Yeah, man, 100%. We'll yeah, The funny like one thing, and I like Gordon's channel a lot because he has a lot of fun with conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of conspiracy theory stuff gets really feckin' heavy,
Yes.
and
I do.
the
I see my father
conspiracy
watching it.
theorists
It's
are
crazy.
just like they get so deep into it, and it's almost like they get mad that other people don't believe what they believe.
Yeah.
That becomes a bit and see once one conspiracy theory becomes very maybe that's true. Oh, actually, I like that one as well.
Mm-hmm.
And you start daisy chaining them all together. So you might start at one end, which was quite a small, likely conspiracy.
Well,
theory,
that's
and
the whole
then
idea
a couple of
it.
years later, you're
It's like that. It's like that with the algorithms of
it's an
YouTube.
ice wall.
You start off watching one, and next thing they're feeding you another one, and suddenly then that, the lights are watching you. That sort of thing. So,
But yeah, I do like Gordon's podcasts and stuff because I think he has a good bit of fun with it as well. Like
he is great. He had a great set. I only visited his in the studio. I went down with Mark Maloney, and it was a great eye opener. Excuse me, I'm yawning. My apologies.
Talk about a man that loves a good.
Who's that?
Did I?
But anyways, so yeah, the thing is, Biden just he just isn't up to scratch in America, and even the Americans are like, after the debate that they had, it just showed him up for like, how could you put a man like that in front of the cameras, in front of millions of people?
I saw a great tweet. It was like, the real test for the presidency should be, can you drive from Sacramento to San Diego? Because would you trust Biden to drive for 3 hours?
No, I wouldn't trust. Like,
would you trust Trump to drive for 3 hours and not get arrested?
The funny thing is, I kind of would.
He's more coherent. He's a tougher skin.
I put it to you this way, this is what a message I seen. If you seen Joe Biden coming onto the plane as the captain of the plane, would you stay on the plane?
Fuck no.
Yeah, but the thing is, you probably would if it was Donald Trump.
I don't know. I think there's a fake confidence that would put me off too.
I don't know. And of course, afterwards, there were some of them were absolutely hilarious. I put a few of them up on the Facebook page and on the stories on the Instagram. But it was very divisive. People are very a lot of American followers, like, if there were the video that I put up, it didn't say that Trump was brilliant, or it didn't say that he was bad. It was just a bit of crack, but they got very, very hot and bothered about it. Yeah, they took it very personal. But again, it's just a bit of crack. Irish Newfoundland Bear, I'd be paying more attention to Fair City storylines than the politics, and I wouldn't be paying an awful lot for the Fair City storylines either, so I wouldn't. Yeah,
it's kind of disheartening.
Yeah,
like you look at all of them, and they're all so flawed.
Yeah,
Keir Starmer is basically a block of cheese.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's nothing to him.
So that's why I think Trump is actually a breath of fresh air.
Well, but
he's entertaining at least.
He's entertaining, and you don't know what he's going to say. He's going to say some crazy shit, but like, people say he's a great speaker, he's a great orator, and
people say he's a patriot. I don't know about the thing is, he doesn't really need to be running for presidency.
Yeah, but like, he does, because he's a sycophant. He's doing it. He's not. Don't tell me that Donald Trump is doing it for the good of the country. He's doing it for the good of Donald Trump.
I don't know. I think you're being very cynical there.
The Trump brand. That's all he cares about.
Maybe.
Like,
I'd like to think not. I'd like to think that there's some good in humanity left.
Trump
there's some warriors of the right,
but like
as in right people.
But Donald Trump put his name on every building so he could build a brand. That, like, the only reason, like, the biggest, like, he went and he was like, he want to be uber famous. That was the most important thing for him. Like.
Okay, well, he's definitely famous.
He became famous, but like, there's loads of things, like, he didn't pay construction workers on
I do know that. And I know that a lot
for
of people.
years.
I know a lot of people, even in Ireland, that was involved with Trump. Doonbeg in County Clare.
He's a long history of leaving the ordinary man
high and dry.
High and dry.
Yeah. So like people committed suicide with the
100%.
money. That
He doesn't give a shit about that.
Yeah.
His father was a rabid racist.
Yeah.
Like his father had a small empire himself that Donald Trump has built upon.
Mm-hmm.
But like
they were what? German Scott.
That's what he reckons. I do.
Okay.
But like, yeah, like he's from bad stock.
Okay.
I wouldn't have any like. He lies a lot.
Okay.
Like,
well, I think in politics you kind of have to, like, no matter what, they all bend the truth. He just very sensationalist about it. But even getting back to like the shooter. The shooter was a Republican, 20 years of age, had an awful bad shot.
Yeah.
Like he had no business up there. They knew about him. They said that the shooter had the security guard had the shooter in his sights for over 3 minutes, and the Secret Service wouldn't let him take the shot.
That was insane.
He came out and made that statement himself, which I'm very surprised that he was allowed to. So it's all baffling. It's all a bit weird.
I saw this thing where the shooter the shooter apparently tried to join the rifle club in his high school, which is only in America that you'd be able to join a rifle club in your high school. But he was trying, and apparently he didn't get on the team because he was such a bad shot.
Yeah.
So that guy has a lot of confidence in his ability to fucking take out the president.
Well, yeah. How many 8 shots he was let fire before
you don't you hear it in the video where it's like
pop pop pop. Other people said it came out and said that if it was shots like that don't sound like that. They don't sound like popcorn popping. But I've heard shots. Yeah.
I wouldn't believe I wouldn't. But like I assumed that was him being taken out.
Yeah.
That maybe he got 1 or 2 shots off, and then the next thing is he's getting shot from everywhere.
Can you imagine being there live? What another thing that I don't get is as well, everyone that was there stayed there. No one ran.
Yeah. Yeah.
No one ran. Which if you thought there was shots being fired, you're no matter who you are, you grab your child and you run.
Oh, 100%. But do you know,
you don't stick around to see.
There was a great documentary on. I'm not sure if you might have seen it. It's a great documentary on before the England-Spain match.
Mm-hmm.
It was about Bloody Sunday.
Yeah,
in 1920.
what perfect viewing before the England.
Man.
Just in case anyone from Ireland needed any decision to be made on who they were going shouting for.
Oh God!
In the
it got me riled
final.
Up.
Yeah.
It's
it's not like RTE to make a complete fuck up.
I was going to war after it.
Yeah.
It's so
Shit,
good.
I'm sorry I missed that.
It's on the RTE player. It's worth watching. Goes in depth in it's a story that I hadn't heard properly before.
Yeah.
Because Bloody Sunday, to be honest, what informed Bloody Sunday for me completely wrongly, was the Michael Collins movie.
Yes.
Because in the Michael Collins movie...
Oh, it was about the Bloody Sunday in the 1920.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in the Michael Collins movie, most of you probably watched it before, the auxiliaries and the Black and Tans, they burst into Crow Park, and Michael Hogan is seen as kicking the ball over the tank.
That's right, and
scoring
run
a
around,
point and being taken. Then he's taken out, and then they start shooting into the crowd. It's not what happened.
Okay.
So obviously in the morning, the G-men, the spies that were in Ireland infiltrating the IRA, they were obviously had the IRA and the squad, Michael Collins' squad, had the list, right?
Okay.
They went out to execute 35 people. They killed, I think it was 8 or 12, I can't remember exactly. They took out a number of high-profile spies in Ireland.
Yes.
And some of the heads, and not just spies, but some of the heads of the the British imperialism in Ireland
Okay, yeah.
were taken out on that morning. Then the match was happening that day. The British knew that there would be IRA men in the crowd, but there's 12,000 people in the at the match in Croke Park. Tipperary were playing Dublin. So they cornered off a couple of streets around, Jones Road and down by the canal. They cornered off Croke Park, and they situated, and they said basically they're going to do a search. They're going to search for gunmen, search for known IRA men. And obviously, Tipperary being a stronghold of the IRA, they were like, they'll definitely be there. So they assumed that some of the Dublin contingent of the IRA and the Tipperary contingent would be in there. So they were saying, anyone that runs, you shoot them.
Okay.
So they were going in, and next thing there was I can't remember. I should remember the names, but they saw a kid in a tree, 10 years old. Boom, took him out.
A what?
A kid in a tree outside Croke Park. He was on a tree looking into Croke Park.
Okay.
Shot in the chest on the way into Croke Park.
Okay.
Right. Next thing, havoc. They go in there, and anyone that was running, boom, 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 shooting at random. So that created a stampede.
Okay.
The crowd were going. They were running over walls. People being shot all over the place. 12 people were shot and all. Then a crush happened because they got so far, the auxiliaries had them penned in.
Okay, yeah.
So that crowd started coming back.
Okay.
Just a massive crush, and fucking loads of people died.
How many did die on that particular day?
I think it was 12 or 15 in Croke Park that were killed.
Okay.
Not one IRA man found.
Of course.
And then the investigations after, obviously a cover up, because who investigated the military and the police that did the killing that day? The military.
Yeah, of course.
So,
but that's like the government investigating the RT scandal.
Yeah, 100%.
It's like a semi-state body being investigated by the state, and it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, you need independence.
But that just goes back to my thing that if you hear shots fired, especially 8 shots, and then obviously the return shots from the security or the policeman, you don't just stand around.
I know it's crazy. Now, if you were there with your family, maybe you just dive on them and try and protect them. Apparently that's how one of the fellas that died.
All right.
Took a stray bullet, trying to protect his family.
Okay.
So I don't look.
Poor fella. And that was another thing. I got a lot of heat yesterday because I made a couple of humorous skits about what had gone on. None of them were directed at the people that were in the crowd. It was all about Trump. And you see, when you're an observational humorist, as I would be, I make fun of what's happening here and now. Sometimes I do generalized crack or whatever, but in general, if for me it's all observational. It's what's happening, especially with governments, especially if there's any major event around the world, a bit like the Euros, like that's my bread and butter.
Yeah, of course.
So of course I'm going to make, and I try to make it as classy as possible, but being edgy as well, because being soft gets you nowhere, especially in this game. But the only thing is, it's got me this far, but now it's backfiring on me because obviously I'm just being watched and restricted so much.
Yeah, look, at the end of the day, and the people in the comments knows we've said this before. If you want to hear,
and now it's even down to our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
You can't even mention the name Trump in the text, in the title.
But if you want to see Stephen uncensored, go to a live show.
Yeah.
That's where and that's where
it's going, which is unfortunate.
Well, that's where the message has to go out to people on the social media things. It's like, support the live shows. Maybe here's a little. I would have said wouldn't be a little bit more free, but obviously we have to be smart about what we're titling things.
Mm-hmm.
we're obviously trying to.
And
bring
remember as
people in
well that there's so many podcasts, there's so many social media pages. You're fighting for your spot, so you have to grab people's attention, and that's why a lot of my videos start off with straight off bang, and then there's something in the middle, and then there's usually a punchline at the end or whatever like that. You have to grab people's attention from the get-go, or they're lost. People's attention spans are shot, and that's down to probably social media, the likes of TikTok, the likes of Instagram. It's quick fixes. So when that's being curtailed, then I'm up shit creek without a paddle. So there's going to have to be a major change in my approach to social media. And like I said, I'm thinking about just taking a bit of a break from it, which is unfortunate because when events happen,
you like to be on it.
You like to be on it. Yeah, 100%. And people would be most people would be expecting me to be on these things.
But it's a hamster wheel effect as well, though.
Yeah, and this is another thing. You could have the biggest page in the world, and if you let it go cold, this is the downside of social media. If you let your page go cold, you could put up the best video you've ever put up, and no one will get to see it because
exactly.
So it's just a vicious cycle.
But it's also. It's not. It's going cold because of the restrictions.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's your activity because of the type of content that you want to create and you want to have a laugh with becomes something that gets you restricted because you're. It's a joke,
of course,
and
it's pure satire. And the thing is, there's loads of very good content creators that
won't do that.
Won't do that. They're soft. They're not. I'm going to say soft. They're very good at what they do.
They are soft,
but they are soft. That's their type of humor, and it's not mine. I am edgy. That's my type of humor. That's what made the page where it is today, and that won't change. I just have to be smarter about it, or just curtail it to the live shows. Maybe do videos and then talk about them at the live shows. Bit like Russell Howard.
Yeah.
So maybe a show like that might be in order, because I do love doing the videos. I love putting them all together in my head and then putting them out there. But
yeah, like at the end of the day, the videos and the pages were to sell live show tickets anyway.
Exactly.
And there is an effect on you getting restricted.
Yeah. So there's no point in me putting out bangers of videos and no one getting to see them, and then no one going to the shows, or finding I shouldn't have to be promoting so hard to sell tickets. Now I do know that it's summertime as well, and a lot of stuff is going on. But anyway,
I went pure IRA.
You did.
Then I watched England lose to Spain, which was great.
I know. Well,
fucking delighted.
I know that I put up an awful lot of content about how I'd hate to see England winning the Euros.
One thing I think you made a mistake on one thing.
What?
Saying Harry Kane was the shooter. He's the best striker in the fucking. He's the best striker.
But that was the whole thing about it. I knew I'd get a backlash.
I know.
I knew I'd get a backlash from it.
Obviously, I knew why you did.
Yeah, of course.
But I did, and I knew that people were going to be like, "God, this man knows nothing."
Yeah. but then for people that are saying that, then you know nothing about social media.
Exactly.
Like the whole thing that is there's a theory that you put up a picture of an orange and you call it an orange. Someone will argue with you.
Yeah.
Like that's just the way it is. But remember, at the end of the day, it's satire and it's banter. I've seen an awful lot, not just on my page, but on other pages as well, back and forth with very, very personal and nasty fucking messages. And I love the banter, and it's all part of the bit of sledging. But when does banter turn into just pure abuse and thuggery? Like, there is a line, and I put up a comment on the Facebook page, I wrote it out this morning, that at the end of the day, let's be fair, a lot of countries around the world would love to have achieved what England, not just in soccer.
They've got the best squad in that tournament.
Yeah.
Hands down.
Not just in soccer, but in all they've done around the world for years. And I know they have a great population and great facilities and that, but you still have to do something with it. So do America. So do Russia. So do all the countries. You have to admire what they've done. And obviously it's the people and the way they go on about especially their soccer team, it's coming home and all this, and they get so carried away and brazen about it. that you kind of love to see them coming down a peg. But at the end of the day, it's a sport. It's an entertainment for the masses.
That's it.
It's bread and circus.
Yeah, 100%.
You know.
It's again. Are we being kept docile by?
Oh yeah. Well, I
by
mean
sport?
that's an age-old ancient tactic by
100%.
authorities. It happened in the Colosseums in Rome. You know, when Rome was falling apart, just keep the masses entertained by bread and circus, basically. Because and that saying comes from they used to throw bread to the
Yeah.
to the people that went to the Colosseum to see the gladiator fights.
Again, you're buying a vote.
Yeah, there you go.
Like there's when you look at it, and there's football is so divisive naturally anyway.
Yeah,
And English football is naturally divisive.
yeah.
And there is a part, like, of course, their
media
fans-
do nothing to help
the
their cause.
media do nothing without their fans are toxic, man.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. The ones that go to the matches seem to.
I'm in a group with two fellas that I used to work with, good guys, like top guys, but one of them, he's an absolute helmet.
Right.
He's a fucking lunatic. He's an imperialist.
That reminds me of the. We'll get back to that in a second. That reminds me of the joke I did put up that got restricted today. So there was no point in even fighting with it because it wasn't like a humdinger of a video. So basically, what I said was, you have to admire Harry Kane's consistency. He lost every trophy going in England, and then he went over to Germany, and he lost every trophy going out there as well. I said, remember, consistency is key. And in other sporting news, a former Formula One driver, Ralph Schumacher, has just announced that he's gay. That would explain all the skid marks on his helmet.
Ralph or Michael?
Ralph. Yeah. Well, Michael, it'd be.
He had skid marks on his helmet too.
He did. So that got like completely nailed, like straight away.
Yeah. It's
a funny joke.
It is.
Yeah.
It made me laugh.
There you go. I'll have to save that one for the live shows.
Yeah, like Shawnee K says, Garen Noon is doing fantastic stuff on social media. Best comedian in Ireland, I reckon. I'm with you. He's doing fantastic stuff on social media.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if he's the best comedian in Ireland.
He is brilliant. What Garen does is absolutely incredible. Unique. It's very unique. He doesn't. You see, the thing is, people mistake that his live show is stand up. It's not.
Music.
It's music, but he's very humorous in between songs, and he's a brilliant. That's what makes our show so unique and so special. He is absolutely gifted.
And we've had him in here. He's good crack. Well. He's a madman, like, you know.
Yeah, and he's very like it's the way he says things. It's just humor. He doesn't need a punchline. I need punchlines.
Yeah.
He doesn't need a punchline. It's just the way he speaks, he talks, the way he carries himself.
As he said when
he's he's a very lovable character.
And as he said on the podcast when he was here last time, buy some merchy cunts.
But yeah, and also what he said on the podcast was he doesn't do like long 40-minute monologues of stories and jokes, or he just does the songs. He's very good. It's brilliant for anyone that's thinking about going to the show in Dunlow in Donegal. Grab your ticket because it is going to be a great night.
You're gonna have good crack.
It will be savage.
Were you happy that Spain won?
At the end of the day, I was happy because then, in one way, I knew I'd get content out of it either way.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I'm not a person that rubs it in your face. I don't do that.
The problem with rubbing in your face is going to be rubbed in our face when we lose in All Ireland again.
That's true. Of course, I can use that to my advantages as well. So I was happy in one way that I wouldn't get the backlash that I was expecting, because a lot of people wouldn't be as gracious or humble in victory that I would be. But listen,
look, if they were going to win, they were going to win.
Yeah, it won't make me. I have to get up in the morning. I have 5 I was going to say kids, but some of them are as old as myself. To provide for. It doesn't matter to me who fucking wins at the end of the day. And again, it's soccer. I'm not a big fan of soccer. I just got involved because I knew people would get good crack out of it.
Yeah, but you look, you'd watch it if you were on, like if it was on.
I'd watch it if I was on. If it was, especially if Ireland were playing, or even though we're not great
Well, we've
in the
got a
last
new
year.
Ireland manager.
We do indeed. Yeah, indeed.
Hyder.
They were promising us a big name. They delivered.
They were
I can't even
right.
fucking pronounce it. It's that big. A dentish, no less.
Yeah.
So,
Listen, you got a double job with the FAI.
well,
these
obviously,
days.
yeah. He'd probably set up a practice in Galway or
Fucking dead right.
Limerick or
He
Donnybrook.
might be class.
He might be class. He might be just what we need.
The last, he brought Iceland to a World Cup. He got them to a Euros.
Yeah. Was he
And
the
they
fella that
beat-
was managing them when they were playing England?
And yeah,
Oh, okay.
and he knocked them out in 2016. Their most humiliating defeat ever.
That's right.
So he might work out. Like at this stage, what's the worst that could happen? Ireland can't get much worse. Like.
No, well, that is true. We've nothing really to lose.
There is a very logical reason why Ireland are in the position they're in. Like Ireland's expectations are very high.
Yeah.
But the resources that they put into the football in this country, comparatively, very low.
Yeah.
And you look at, say, Croatia, similar size population base, they produce a lot more footballers. The way that they've planned for the future.
Has Croatia a similar population than
people,
Ireland? Yeah.
Yeah, 5 million.
I would have thought it was bigger.
But like they are a top 10 team in the world for the last 20 years. Ireland has never been that. Well, they were for a couple of years under Jack Charlton. But the world that was when I was a child. You know, at the end of the day,
Ireland got to number 4 in the world at one stage.
I think they were 8.
No, that
they might have got
Ireland got when just before the World Cup. It was either 1990 or 94. We definitely got to. I'm pretty sure it was 4.
But like,
I'm going to type it in just for fits and giggles.
Just fine. They were definitely in the top 8. They might have been.
We
higher.
I think we had a friendly before. We had a friendly before the World Cup, and I think it was against Germany, and I think we bet them. If not, we definitely drew. Okay, Ireland's highest.
And while you're typing that, yeah. Look, at the end of the day, Ireland has outsourced the production of its players to English teams.
Yes.
For its entirety, and the big difference is in the last 10, 12 years, the English teams have scoured the whole world for talent. They're not just looking at Britain and Ireland and some of Europe. Like back in the 90s, Eric Cantona coming to play.
Six. So we were split down the middle.
Eric Cantona coming from France playing in England was a big thing. That was in 1991 that he transferred there. 1992.
I've seen a brilliant ad that he done today actually for the new sponsors for the United team.
Snapdragon.
Yeah, brilliant ad.
I haven't seen it, but and he's a fascinating character anyway. But like him, he was one of the English Premier League when it first started had barely any foreigners in it. Now all they do is they have teams all over the world scouring for the best talent to come to Liverpool, come to Arsenal, bring them through the academy. Garnacho's playing; he's an Argentinian. He played in Madrid. United bring him in. Now he's a star. He's one of the 19-year-old star, 20-year-old star. That is happening all over the world. Irish players are not being developed by these English clubs.
Yes, I get you. I understand.
To the standard of what they would have when Robbie Keane came through, Damien Duff. So they're not getting that opportunity. Roy Keane went to Nottingham Forest. He was 7. Was he 18, 19 when he got scouted? Never got a trial before he went to Nottingham Forest. He had played for Co-Ramblers for a year in the FA in the League of Ireland.
He was the highest at the time. He was the highest transfer
when he transferred to Man United.
When he transferred to Man United,
yeah, 3.5 million.
I thought it was 1.1.
No, the 3.5.
Okay.
But like he the landscape has changed, and Ireland have to look at producing their own players.
Mm-hmm.
It's the only way that
Well,
they can
I
go
don't think
forward.
the infrastructure is not there through again wasted finance.
Yeah, well, like they've had 20 years of John Delaney,
Yeah,
champagne football, spending money on champagne instead of.
yeah, yeah.
Now he bought his way to keeping Irish football. Now this is a deep dive. You could go mad deep in this. But he went around the country and he'd give clubs here, there, and everywhere little bundles of cash to develop some grounds.
Mm-hmm.
So strategically to keep him in power.
Yes, I 100%.
It's
I
mad.
understand how that works.
It's and look, Ireland maybe having just being
But that's what Ireland is built on, and it worked for so long. But it's not. The society isn't like that anymore.
Okay, and but the expectation of Ireland to do well when they see the Irish rugby team
Yes.
being exceptional.
Yeah. Great win again at the weekend down in South Africa. If you want to see arrogant fans, the South African fans are just
Outrageous.
incredibly
It's,
arrogant.
It's mad.
I mean, it's beyond conceivable how arrogant they do be. It's mind-boggling.
Yeah, but they've also
and I hate to see it because I love I love the country itself, but it is crazy.
the word.
They'd argue that black was white.
Yeah, some of them would argue that the whites are the blacks now.
Well, I knew you'd go down that route. That's not what I meant. That's not what I meant at all.
It was good though, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. I knew you'd turn that into a racist thing.
Well, we don't make Bravo Johnny goes. We don't make futsal in Ireland, despite a live market. 100%. So look at Kobe Mainoo. Kobe Mainoo is England's brightest star after coming out of this Euros. Unbelievable talent. Like I saw him live when I went. Like I have this kind of love-hate relationship, but I actually love the game. I love watching football.
Yeah,
you know,
I can take or leave. Like I
yeah,
said,
it's not like they're a bunch of millionaires running around the place, but the actual sport of it is good. But like futsal, like Kobe Mainoo came through playing futsal, and his close control is off the charts. Technically brilliant. Yeah, indoor soccer venues and futsal is huge in the Spanish market, especially South America and Spain. Massive.
How do you mean futsal now?
Futsal is like it's like 7-a-side with a smaller ball.
Okay.
You know.
And how do you mean, Johnny, a live market?
So that like if you look at what Ireland has, lots of players play football to keep fit, but they don't play futsal. They don't play like indoors on a timber floor with the smaller
for
ball
control.
For control, yeah.
Very interesting.
But there is definitely a link to playing futsal and having better control.
But what is okay? We'll skip from that as well. It's just a thing in my head. What is it with the English fans that drives them to self-destruct in every tournament that they go to?
See, the expectation's so high.
Yeah.
Like if you look at,
but even before the matches, they're off their tits. Yeah, they're fighting. They're scrapping.
Yeah.
Or is it that other countries know this, they antagonize them, knowing to draw from them, and then just let them belt ahead?
No. There's an arrogance with. Look, it's the home of football. Football was invented technically in England, but like, and there is an idea. There's idealism there that England should be the best. I think they had the best squad in this Euros.
In the world?
Yeah. They probably have arguably the best squad in the world. If you look at the depth of players in every position, way better than Spain. You know,
I backed Spain from the beginning.
Yeah, because that was a great shout.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't have backed Spain. I would have backed Portugal because I thought they were equally as deep as England. But like England had the best draw. Spain.
I know they got a very easy draw, France, and I think that's what went against them in the end.
England beat France, Germany, like Portugal.
Spain did. Sorry, yeah. So Spain beat all these teams in the top 10 of the world. England played the Netherlands and played only one good half of football there. Yeah.
I think no England fan would say they played well there, but there's an expectation of England to do well.
Yeah. But
And
also, it's a sign of a good team too that you keep you keep winning, you keep bringing it through. How many times within a couple of minutes of going out?
oh,
I think 2 or 3 times.
three
Yeah.
times I think, yeah. And if they pulled back an equalizer last night, wouldn't have been a shock.
Yeah.
But
And but what did I say to
I
you
think
when
it's
I
in
seen?
spite of the manager. Like.
Yeah. What did I say to you when Palmer came on?
He said he's got to score
Straight away.
immediately.
I said this prick will come on now and he'll score straight away. And how long did it take him? 3 minutes?
5 minutes.
5
probably,
minutes.
I don't know.
Fuck's sake. You could tell. You could just see how it was written.
Yeah. Cheeky Commodore Gamer says need to start the Irish team on marbles and work away from footballs. You might be right.
Maybe.
EMXC, France have a better squad than England. Yeah, France are comparable as well. I think that they were the same as England, as they didn't have the balance of their squad right. They were trying to
But the thing is as well, it can be a great squad of individuals.
that's what England were.
Yeah.
A Moment's team, all individuals. See, if you you could see in last night's game perfectly when Harry Kane was on the pitch. Harry Kane drops deep closer to midfield, and then but like when you have Bellingham and Foden occupying the same position, they just kind of got muddled into that soup of nothingness.
But even that 10-minute spell that they did have when Palmer came on,
yeah,
it eventually just Spain. You felt that if Spain got a chance, it was going to be a goal.
Yeah. So
it's a bit like every team that plays against Mayo.
Yeah,
you know, you just feel like Mayo
you've
have to
got
work
dominance.
hard.
Yeah, you've got dominance, but like the pitch has been stretched now, and you will give up a chance at some stage.
Yeah,
and I think there is inherently the pressure is so big, same as Mayo. When we get to an opportunity to come into this and win, like something that every Mayo person is just dying for. And I remember like talking to a mate of mine that I used to work with, who has no interest in the GA. And I think it was after we lost Donegal, and it was like 3 days after, and I was still crestfallen.
Yeah.
I was like, that was a major opportunity, and we were the better team for 90% of the game. And that first 5 minutes, we absolutely destroyed ourselves.
Yeah,
by giving ourselves a mountain.
Sure, look what we did against Dublin in the drawn match in.
2 own goals. And
two
all
own goals.
Stuff.
2 own goals in GAA.
And I was being
1 own goal in GAA is unheard of. Never mind 2.
But like I was being asked.
Dublin were how many points up at half time, and they hadn't scored anything.
Nothing. Yeah. It's madness. Like. But like he was asking me why. He goes. You know. What he goes? Why are you still so upset? And I was like, it's different because I know, like being from a rural part of the country, what a difference that it makes to just someone that might be on their own out the back.
1,000%. And that's what I was thinking today when I made that comment on Facebook, and that's why I didn't go to town.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking to myself, there's a lot of pricks out there that England fans, but there's also a lot of genuine people.
Yeah, and they all.
I've been there so many times
to live for.
Yeah.
Genuinely.
Yeah.
And like it's for them people that you're like, we deserve something.
Yeah.
And like, and tribalism exists, and like, and I can understand how people in England, we know what it's like to lose on the biggest stage.
But also remember, I read a comment that there are histories that determine the reactions of the 4 or 5 nations in the British Isles. With Ireland, Wales, Scotland, and England. And,
we have a disgusting history when it comes to England.
Yeah,
it was oppression, it was degradation, it was.
Yeah. But again, a lot of this was from the government, the authorities.
Yeah,
are very good. There's some very good English people too.
Yeah. But there's also a lot of people that hark back to those times where they were the best.
Yeah.
They were
I know.
They conquered quarter of the world.
Yeah.
And that when
more.
And a lot of England fans jump with like it's mob mentality. They jump on that bandwagon, and when they jump on that bandwagon, it becomes so toxic.
Yeah.
Like they were out in Germany singing about 12 German bombers being shot down by the RAF back in the 1940s. None of them fuckers are even alive.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Like,
I can
they,
guarantee
and
you the people
if,
that are singing out there wouldn't get on a plane to go out to war
would they
in a
fuck?
flying fit. They wouldn't get up out of bed in the morning. Never mind
Yeah.
fucking head out in the
So
plane.
so like like the England fans have no one has any sympathy for them, like really. But
Yeah.
I do individuals that have nothing else to live.
That's fine. What I'll do tomorrow is I'll go out and make the best video ever about really rubbing salt into the wound.
Fuck it, go for it.
I went too easy. Pint man, yeah, very well said, Chris. I have to admit. We've only touched on the two topics. I wanted to touch on more.
What else did you want to?
I wanted to touch on the Gaelic as well. We might leave that for another day.
We've got a few minutes, unless you want to go.
I tell you what, I'm starting to Dwayne here, so I am Dwayne.
Dwayne Durkin, is it?
Dwayne Durkin job. Cheeky Commodore Gamer, guys. Thank you so much for everyone that, especially the people that have been on this from the beginning, and are still chatting away.
You're 100% right, Cheeky Commodore Gamer. Kevin Zeffi has potential to be a decent player for Ireland. He was with Inter Milan, but now plays with Roma. He's 19. He's a lot of potential. There's a few players.
There's the lad from Cork as well, Rob Heffernan's son.
Yeah, he's with
out
Benfica, is he?
No, he's out in Italy as well. I'm pretty sure it's Inter Milan.
Okay. Yeah, like they see with Brexit, that's opened up a market that wouldn't have looked at before.
Okay, yes.
So Irish players might be more likely to look at teams on the continent. It's more of a global game as well. The other idea is was it Keith Tracy, Galway lad that used to play for Ireland. He played lots of, I think he played Premier League at one stage. But he was saying that years ago, before the internet, like before YouTube, basically, you could go to Europe, you'd easily be forgotten about.
Yes.
That won't happen now.
Yes,
you're
I get
being tracked. Your progress is being tracked.
Yeah,
how
of
you're
course.
getting on is being tracked. So, the world is a lot smaller place at the end of the day.
It really is. Do you know what? We'll touch. We'll leave the what's going on in Kulak. We'll touch on the GA a little bit.
Yeah, cool.
And we'll have the Kulak thing for again, because that isn't going away.
That's not going to go anywhere
anytime soon. No. So it's not. So we'll finish up on Galway getting into the All Ireland, and also Armagh.
Yeah.
Again, there was some brilliant memes about you should never try an assassination attempt when Armagh are playing in a semi-final.
That's pretty good.
But obviously the snipers will be off duty. Yeah, Armagh versus Kerry. Were you happy to see Kerry getting beaten?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
You were pretty steadfast on that. You didn't have to think about it much.
I've always,
to be honest, I said before the match, I don't think Kerry are as good as people making them out.
No, and to be honest, it's great to see. Like, I know Kerry got to the semi-final, but like to see Kerry in Dublin not being a final.
Yeah.
They've dominated for the last 20 years.
Yes. Bar a couple of Tyrone.
Had Tyrone Armagh's in a final that in 2003. But like Kerry, it was Kerry or Dublin in one of the finals every year. So it's good to see, two good semi-finals.
Yeah.
Like,
I seen a statistic. I don't know if it's right or wrong, that between Dublin and Kerry they've something nearly 70% of the All Irelands.
Yeah,
that seems a bit high.
Well, between them they've got 65, 70 titles.
Is it?
Yeah.
All right. Maybe it's right. Maybe they're right.
So it might be 50. It might not be 50%. What did you say?
I said it said 70.
No, I wouldn't.
So I thought it was a bit higher, right? But
now, if you're including minor titles, it might be. There's
a
lot of minor titles Kerry won over.
No, it was definitely the seniors. It was just a statement that someone made. All Ireland. Yeah,
I think, to get 70%. No, it's not. It can't be, because Kerry and Dublin have about 70 between them, I think.
Final.
And the All Ireland has been going since 1884.
I know, 1884. It was formed in Tipperary. I know. Is it Nina
in
or Clonmel?
Clonmel, I think.
Yeah. Again, we should know that. I definitely would have known that from the All Ireland record holders are Kerry with 38. Dublin are the current. So I should know. We should know this. If you'd asked me this a couple of years ago, my brain
Thurles.
Fuck me, it was
1st November 84.
shocking. So Kerry have 38, and Dublin have 31. So that is 69.
Yeah.
There you go. It's not 70%, but so it's over 50 anyway. Yeah. So it is nice. It's always nice to see other teams, and contrary to people's opinions about Galway being in the All Ireland, I'll be rooting for Galway. Now I mightn't say that on the big pages, but
I think Armagh's going to win.
Do you?
After watching the two teams,
I think Galway just have it. I think whoever was going to win, Donegal or Armagh, or Donegal or Galway.
I thought Donegal looked leggy, especially in the last 10
I thought
minutes.
the first half was a brilliant half of football.
There was a lot of missed chances though.
Yeah.
And I think now I was impressed with the way that Galway defended. I thought Armagh were, once they got into a shape defensively, Kerry they were looking for anything to go right.
Yeah.
But
and their goal was very fortunate.
The Armagh there was a lot of fortune to this goal. The Armagh goal, the Kerry goalkeeper came out and it bounced off his arm. Your man came in and swiped it and put it into the net. He punched it.
And then the Galway goal was
fortuitous
very
fortuitous. I can't remember the Kerry goal in the first half.
Do you remember it was pumped in from really high up, and it what I felt your man was in the square.
Oh yeah.
He punched it down, and then your man ran in and punched it in again. So there was 2 punches. There was kick and 2 punches.
Yeah.
But both of them looked to be in the square. I know the second fella wasn't in the square. Like when the ball came in, he was running in. But I think the first man was definitely in the square, and I don't know if it has to be the fella that punches it in, or not. Maybe I'm wrong.
I think
maybe it is. Maybe now that I've dissected it in my own head, I probably proved myself wrong there.
I think Galway. I think Galway had control of the game over Donegal for the last 15 minutes. Though I thought it just went really raggy.
Yeah.
And I thought Donegal.
I actually didn't watch the last bit. I had to go for the last bit of the Galway. I was only taking updates.
Like the last 15 minutes, there was just no ideas, no one taking control of the game. Donegal needed someone to. Do you know what they needed? They needed a fresh Paddy McBrearty to come onto the ball and kick a few points and keep them going. But Galway got into a defensive structure they couldn't do anything about, and they just went over and back and over and back. Then it came back to the last minute or two, and instead of pumping a couple of balls into the square and trying to cause a bit of havoc, that went to nothing.
Yeah,
it was. I thought that Donegal got poorer as the game went on, and Galway just played within themselves. I was much more impressed by the way. First of all, Armagh turned the game around. They were 4 or 5 points down against Kerry, backs against the wall. They really.
But when Kerry scored the goal, Armagh had just started to turn the tide.
Yeah,
and it was just such a fortuitous goal that I thought that's going to break them. But no, they kept coming back.
Better.
Yeah,
and I thought your man Rian O'Neill was outstanding.
Yeah, he's an outstanding player. I have to admit.
Really, really good.
Brilliant player. And then just a quick mention then to the Galway.
One thing about the Galway, just before you finish your thought on that, it wasn't a big day where Shane Walsh or Damien Comer or Sean Kelly went and ran the game. If anything, they were marked out of the game.
Yeah.
Like Sean Kelly didn't even play. Mike came in the second half. But Damien Comer and Shane Walsh, largely, Damien Comer was double marked for most of it.
Yeah. If not triple, I've seen a couple of plays where he was there was 3 or 4 around him.
So the supporting cast are usually a little bit subservient to getting Damien Comer on the ball. They came to the fore, and that shows how deep their squad is. And their bench was really good as well.
Yeah.
So
That's why I actually think they're going to go all the way.
I think Armagh are better.
We'll see. We'll see.
I think they got more pace.
I'm pretty sure that Galway are like hot favourites for it.
I'd say
Not that
they
makes any difference when you're out in the pitch.
Yeah,
It's 15 against 15, but they're
Sure
they're
went to
little.
penalties 2 years ago. Could go the same, you know.
It could. Yeah,
Yeah,
which I
Galway
hate to see. I think it's a shock. Even though apparently the penalties was a GAA invention.
That wouldn't surprise me either. I don't know. I don't know.
Because I was making fun of the fact I hate penalties. I hate decide any match on penalties. But I always presumed it was a soccer thing.
Yeah.
But apparently it was vice versa.
Maybe they.
But how I want to sign this off is Galway's tribute to John O'Mahony.
Oh yeah, brilliant.
You know, I never got a chance to say anything like I did with Micheál Mulhurty a couple of weeks ago. What an achievement he done. When you think about it, he brought Galway, who at the time were going up against like some brilliant teams.
Yeah.
In 98, 2001. He won 2 All-Irelands with Galway.
Yeah.
And for the first time in a very long time, he won. They say arguably his best achievement was winning the Connacht final with Leitrim.
Getting them to an All-Ireland semi-final is outrageous.
Yeah.
Outrageous.
Beating a red-hot favourite Mayo team at the time.
They were a
and
good team.
And then Mayo went on to become the
96,
97
team. Yeah. My favourite team, I think.
Yeah, that's true.
Just like yeah.
Oh, I was at that match. I was at the match that down in Leitrim, and I remember it was like a field. It was like the Leitrim pitch was like a field out
thistles and everything going over.
It was crazy, and I'm pretty sure that they scored a goal from like midfield. It was just pumped in, and the keeper completely missed
old school
job.
But there is something about watching these things old school. It's like these things come around. A lot of the mistakes that happened, whereas a ball pumped in on top of the square, putting pressure on the goalkeeper. Like the goalkeepers all want to come out and play nice fancy football.
Yeah.
But like, do they want
their job is in the square?
Yeah. Dominant, and there's very few goalkeepers. Like one thing you gotta say, Cluxton's the greatest goalkeeper of all time.
100%.
But I've never seen anyone dominate Cluxton in the square.
No,
Cluxton's always taken that part of his game very seriously.
He minds the square, and
minds the square, and then he plays.
That's his job.
And then he plays midfield for his club.
Yeah, but then also in saying that his kickouts are brilliant as well.
Yeah. Oh, change the game.
Pinpoint, and I think with Cluxton in the team, Dublin are more confident.
Yes.
Like all the players are more confident.
Everyone steps up their game.
But getting back to John O'Mahony, you see, for me, like me growing up and getting into GAA, John O'Mahony was always associated with the GAA, just like Micheál Mulhurty. Like he was a face that I grew up with, like from the early 90s.
Yeah, of course.
Mid 90s into the early 2000s.
Yeah.
So it's like when I see these people, it reminds me of that I'm getting older as well. Just like the Micheál Mulhurty, when he passed away, it's hard to imagine the scenes of a GAA scene without his voice being in your head. But it's like a childhood memory.
He's a 93-year-old man, and what came out was some of the most brilliant videos. Him making a sandwich.
Yeah.
You see that video?
Yeah.
It's unreal.
And even the hurler's prayer.
Yeah.
It was incredible. It was Dave Holden shared it.
Yeah.
And I listened to it about 1,000 times.
He's also the voice that reminds you of your childhood.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, 100%.
You
go back to listening to him in the car.
Yeah.
Maybe down on Pontoon if it was a hot enough day.
Yeah.
And remember back then the GAA
not
season.
Every match was on TV.
No, not every match was on TV, but also it was in the proper summer when you were off from school. And it was better summers as well. I don't care what anyone says. But anyway, that's for another day. Rob Brown says Coolock says no. We'll get on to the Coolock thing on the next podcast, or not just Coolock, but all these centres that are popping up around the country. A very divisive topic, and we will get back to it. We'll also, I didn't finish off my Enoch Burke rant the last time. either. So that's there the tag for again. Excuse me. That's the weekend catching
The
up with me
man's
now.
getting tired.
That's it. It's time for my slippers and my pipe, and I don't even smoke.
the crack pipe that he's into.
It's the pipe between my legs.
Oh.
Way.
Way.
Right, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for contributing to the chat, for getting involved. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. And until the next time, stay safe, stay healthy.
And stay away from yourself.
Good night.